Well, I woke up this morning from a reoccurring dream.
Hello, people. I am JABY KOAY, joined by Sintel KOAY.
What's cracking?
He is in Denver, Colorado. It's a Sunday morning for us. We're still waking up, but we are energized and ready to go. I got my super juice here. Makes me feel like Spider-Man. It makes me feel like Tobey Maguire ready for Tom Holland. That's a deep reference. Anyway, that's just a joke. I am very excited to see what comes next here in Special Ops Season 1, starring Kay Menon, one of the best actors out of India. Here we are, Episode 4. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to see a cut-down version of our reaction because we're only allowed to show you a limited amount of picture-in-picture. However, if you want to watch the whole thing with us, uncut, uninterrupted, head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/JABYKOAY, where you can watch the whole show with us, but you will need your own subscription to Disney Plus Hotstar so that you can open up the show in an adjacent window to our reaction because we can't show you the whole thing picture-in-picture, but it's like you're watching it with your two favorite pals from the internet. Two of your favorite pals. I know that your favorite pals are Chara. That's not lost on me. I'm not ignorant. So,
take her out. We gotta take her out.
Exactly. Executed. There can be only one Highlander. So, if you're watching this on Patreon already, thanks so much for supporting us here. Very, very much appreciate it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please hit that upvote button to let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. All right, here we go. Oh, that's where we left off. That's right.
That did not end well. I think he at least got hit. Probably in the shoulder.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Wow, he didn't get hit at all? Surprise, bitches.
Oh, there's blood on him. There's blood.
Okay.
It might be from the glasses. I mean, they might be from the glass.
Yeah, no, he got shot in the arm. I see it in the arm.
He's calm.
Like, for real, I'd have been all the way hyperventilating, head between my knees.
तो नंबर नहीं देख पाया
लेकिन राजघाट की तरफ गए
ठीक तो है ना?
हेलो सर
I forget that bullets are small. I'm like, how come the rip in his shirt's not bigger? His arm's fine. His arm just...
He's like, mosquito bite.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the dude that was just letting off the shots.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
तुम्हारी जरूरत का सारा सामान तुम्हें यहीं मिल जाएगा.
He looks as though he didn't even just try to kill somebody.
तुम्हें यहाँ से बाहर जाने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, ठीक है?
ताजमहल, कुतुब मीनार, बाबरी मस्जिद, सब तस्वीरों में देखा मैंने.
Is he simple?
बाबरी मस्जिद कितना दूर है यहाँ से? जाना था, वो तोड़ दिया और तुम लोगों ने कुछ किया ही नहीं.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that dude. Something's different about him though, for sure.
कौन है? मादर चौथ कतई पागल है ललन भाई.
Oh, he's insane. Okay.
तो आगे जाके साले को आइसक्रीम की रेडी दिख गई. वहीं साले ने जिद पकड़ ली. रोको 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 रोको. आइसक्रीम खाना है. इस गधे के बच्चे को कैसे लेकर आए ना, ये हम ही जानते हैं ललन.
So he's a psychopath.
Yeah. Or a sociopath, or one of the two. Yeah.
What's the difference between a sociopath and a psychopath?
A sociopath has no idea what they're doing. They're just crazy just because it's just what it is. Psychopaths have intent, have clear intent.
How long has he known the guy?
To me, it seemed like he just met him.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's in closer now.
That's what I'm assuming. It's just more time has passed.
Yeah.
Because it would seem a little odd that, you just made a business partner like 3 days ago and you're bringing him to your brother's funeral.
Yeah, that would be odd. It was just the last episode when the brother got killed, and it seemed very close proximity to their meeting. Like, they met, and then the next scene was the brother getting killed. So it's a little bit confusing, but perhaps there was more time that elapsed between them meeting and him finding out about his brother.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And
it's not really specific.
And I think the difference between a psychopath and a sociopath is empathy. Sociopaths don't have any empathy.
Don't have empathy?
Yeah.
So he's a sociopath then?
अरे सुनो. मेरे घर के बाहर 2 आदमी डालो. सरोज को पता नहीं चलना चाहिए.
Suno. Suno means listen.
Okay.
किसी छठे आदमी के इंस्ट्रक्शंस पे ऑपरेट कर रहा था और मेरा मानना है कि छठा आदमी कोई आम हैंडलर नहीं बल्कि उनका लीडर भी था.
सब ठीक? क्या सोच रहे हो हिम्मत?
That was a handsome doctor.
Yeah, very, very.
God damn. Yeah, it seems like you're in the wrong industry, Doc.
What kind of physicals you giving?
Exactly.
तुम्हारी कोई बात हुई थी क्या अबू से हाल फिलहाल में?
मुझे तो अरसा हो गया उनसे मिलके।
ये अपने बिल्डिंग के बाहर जो ऑफिसर टाइप के लोग खड़े हैं मुफ्ती में, वो तुमने लगाए?
यार सरोज, तुम्हें ना एजेंसी ज्वाइन कर लो।
So we can do 9. है ना?
Pick me up at 8.
I'll do that. That seems good.
Oh, here's where she finds out his identity. He about to throw down. Come on.
मैं चाहता हूँ तुम वहाँ जाकर खड़ी जाओ, okay?
भागो नहीं।
Oh, he's no longer
All right,
Clark Kent.
Clark Kent.
He's no longer Clark Kent.
Ooh,
you
Jackie
might
Chan
be
that
the
gun.
worst criminal ever. My man really slid right through his feet.
Oh,
Nice.
oh, what a stunt.
That was
Oh,
nice.
God.
Yeah.
That was the only impressive part of that fight scene, because the rest of it was... that stunt... Go ahead.
No, I was just blown away by how dumb the criminal was with the stunt. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, that stunt at the end was... oh, God, that looked painful. Where's this dude located? Was he in France? I forget where he is.
I don't remember.
Because you remember he was going after that Russian guy?
I cannot remember the location. Oh, it got dead quiet.
The signs are in English, so it's not France. Wow.
The entire store? Word?
So the agents are being hunted.
Dang, all the cars too?
No gun?
I'm still confused on how all the pedestrians were in on it. I mean, that takes a really powerful organization.
Oh, that didn't go as planned. That stunt didn't go as planned as far as I can tell.
किस दिन मिल गया ना तू मेरे को, तो देख लेना। भाई मुझे तो ऑर्डर था। रेडी हूँ मैं।
What? That was a test?
It's got to be, because for them to be not armed, that many people, pedestrians that just phase out and stuff, you know, it's so unrealistic. It would have to be a test, right? That couldn't have been like a staged hit.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that's what it is. You're just making sure they're on their toes. Because you're right. You're like, you're there with no guns. You're going after a super agent, just your knuckles.
Yeah. Both of those fight scenes bothered me.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Got the whole fam.
Going after the fam. There's a leak, ladies and gentlemen.
मेरे बेटे और उसके दोस्तों ने 2011 में एक छोटा सा टेक डील किया था, जिसके लिए उनको एक ऑफ द रिकॉर्ड ऑफशोर कंपनी ने छोटा मोटा कमीशन दिया था, यही कुछ 250 करोड़।
250 crore? God damn.
हिम्मत सिंह हस्तक्षेप नहीं कर सकता था इन मामलों में, तो उसने अपनी सारी फाइंडिंग्स और रिपोर्ट्स आईबी और सीबीआई को फॉरवर्ड कर दी। इसने पिछली बार भी बड़ी तकलीफ दी थी चड्डा जी।
कुछ लोगों की आदत होती है।
That deal that the politician's son had made was for like some absurd amount of money, $33.3 million.
Huh.
So she's making it sound like it's nothing. I'm like, that's a lot of money. And she's like, it's legit. It's legit. That's a pretty good feed.
You ain't lying.
That guy was paid to be a kamikaze?
I guess so. That's what I was thinking the same thing. Or maybe he didn't know.
पीएम मोदी ने टीवी पे आके मित्रों बोला और डीमोनेटाइजेशन अनाउंस किया.
You know what that is?
Demonetization?
I'll explain it to you after.
फारूक दुबई में था और वो हाफिज के इर्द-गिर्द आ तो गया था पर उससे मिल नहीं पा रहा था.
तेरा हिंदुस्तान में हवाला वाला नेटवर्क एक बड़ा ट्रांजैक्शन हैंडल कर पाएगा अर्जेंट बेसिस पे?
बिल्कुल. क्यों?
इंडिया में डीमोनेटाइजेशन अनाउंस हुआ है.
Are you following the demonetization thing?
Well, I know something is happening with the finances in India, and that's
so
it.
Basically, Modi demonetized notes of a certain certain amount to combat fake notes.
Okay.
And just to combat corruption, basically.
Okay.
शाबाश. तू कहता था ना कि इस्माइल भाई एक बार हाफिज भाई के साथ इंट्रो करा दे. धंधा करना है. ले, आ ही गया वो दिन.
Well, now's his time. So that crisis gave him an opportunity. It's a beautiful home.
Wow. Yeah.
I love big doors. Man, those doors are dope.
Well, now I know what to get you for Christmas.
Yeah, big doors, baby. With some big old doors.
Just a big door in your living room.
Some big knockers. All right, it all comes down to this, homie. What you gonna do with it?
नई नोट चाहिए. एकदम खास है अपने और मैंने ज़बान दे दिया कि हो जाएगा.
हाफिज को चाहिए?
और नहीं तो क्या मिर्ची भाई. ऐसे थोड़ी याद किया आपको.
कितना करवाना है?
1 करोड़.
क्या? 4 घंटे में खड़ा था मैं.
शुक्रिया मिर्ची भाई. मैं जानता था माना नहीं.
Oh man. He was like, he got it done just like that? All right.
हाफिज साहब इम्प्रेस हो गए हैं तुमसे?
अब मिलने हाफिज साहब से.
आज मना कर रहे हैं. कह रहे हैं क्या जल्दी है?
Where's your patience, dude? What happened to your patience?
I know. I was thinking the same thing. This is the first time we've ever seen him not be patient. You gotta slow play, baby. That's your style, man. That's your superpower.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
He's gonna do it.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's gonna just walk over there anyways, yeah.
मतलब तुमने 1 करोड़ के वैल्यू वाले नए नोट्स इधर कश्मीर में टेररिज्म के लिए इन्वेस्ट किए ताकि तुम्हारे फारूक को हाफिज से इंट्रो मिले.
उम्मीद है कि उस दिन के इन्वेस्टमेंट की वजह से दोनों बहुत जल्द आमने सामने होंगे.
I mean, you're buying trust.
फिर उन पैसों को हमने मॉनिटर किया. 6 हफ्ते बाद इंडियन आर्मी और JNK पुलिस ने एक जॉइंट ऑपरेशन में 4 अलग-अलग जगहों से 85 लाख नए नोटों की रिकवरी की. ये वही है.
Follow the money. Yeah.
पिछले हफ्ते तुमने 7 लाख का सैंक्शन करवाया था.
रावलपिंडी में एक ब्लास्ट करवाना था आज.
हाँ?
अभी 20 मिनट पहले. पर तुमने रावलपिंडी में ब्लास्ट किया क्यों?
You know how this go. Stop. Oh, something big.
सर जरा टीवी ऑन करें.
Yep.
कर भाई इनकी ब्रेकिंग न्यूज़ ऑन.
Are they in a bank? Is that what that is? That are like safety deposit boxes or something?
I think those are file vaults.
Okay.
2008 के मुंबई आतंकी हमलों के मास्टरमाइंड ने प्रतिबंधित आतंकवादी की सूची से अपना नाम हटाने की अपील की थी.
Whoa. That guy's got a mean eyebrow. It's got an intense look. Or a bridge, that's what I meant to say.
वजाहत कितनी बार कहा तुमसे कि इन कुर्सियों की मरम्मत कराओ. ले जाओ इन्हें फौरन ठीक करा कर लो.
Well, he definitely carries a measure of strength in that look. Made him sweat. Goodness.
जनाब आज आपके लोगों ने रावलपिंडी में जो ब्लास्ट किए.
गलत. जमात के लोगों ने रावलपिंडी में कोई ब्लास्ट नहीं किया है.
वो ब्लास्ट हमने करवाया था सर. तो हमने ये ब्लास्ट करवाया और इल्जाम डाल दिया जमात पर. नतीजा जमात के सारे फंड्स, बैंक अकाउंट्स, यहाँ तक कि एसेट्स सब कुछ फ्रीज कर दिए गए.
हम कश्मीर लेकर रहेंगे. इंडिया रोक सके तो रोके.
Wow, that's aggressive.
आप इत्मीनान रखिए, सब ठीक हो जाएगा. मैं जल्द से जल्द इखलाक साहब से मशवरा करता हूँ.
खुदा हाफिज.
खुदा हाफिज नूर साहब.
That's wild. This
जमात के लीडर्स अब हाफिज और इखलाक पे प्रेशर डालेंगे कि वो कुछ करें. हाफिज अकेला कुछ कर पाएगा नहीं. उसे इखलाक खान की मदद चाहिए होगी.
It's Farouk.
इखलाक खान को बाहर खुले में आना ही पड़ेगा.
Oh, I see. I misunderstood. Okay.
हमें बस उसी मौके की तलाश है सर.
यानी सब घूम कर वापस इखलाक यानी तुम्हारे उस 2001 पार्लियामेंट हाउस अटैक.
फारूक इस वक्त
Oh, okay, yeah. See.
इस्माइल उसे हाफिज तक.
Right. Exactly. Okay.
हाफिज उसे इखलाक तक.
Right. That's what I thought.
अमजद भाई अस्सलाम वालेकुम. क्या पहुंचा है भाई आपने. वाह. बस मेरा फोन वहीं अर्थ में छूट गया.
He caught him lying. I don't remember when he met Abu though. I'm a little bit confused about that. Do you remember?
No, at all. So he's calling from a dead man's phone. That person is. It's obviously
because Farouk said that Farouk said he hadn't talked to Abu in a long time. The brother, I guess. Farouk was lying because the guy was listening to the conversation. But I'm like, I don't remember when he met Abu. Like a lot's happened in the last few episodes.
A lot of information was been compressed in this one. I'm probably gonna need you to unpack some of this for me because I think I might be lost in the weeds a little bit.
Okay, so I just, while the show was going on, I looked up what is Article 370 and why does it matter in Kashmir. Kashmir, a mountainous valley that borders Pakistan and India, has been the center of conflict between the two nuclear-armed countries since 1947 partition of British India. At the time of the partition, the British agreed to divide the former colony into two countries, Pakistan with a Muslim majority and India with a Hindu majority. Both nations covet Kashmir, which is Muslim majority, and occupy portions of it with military forces. For decades, an uneasy stalemate has prevailed, broken by occasional military incursions, terrorist attacks, and police crackdowns. But on Monday, the Indian government decided to permanently incorporate the territory it controls into the rest of India. The administration of Prime Minister Narendra Modi revoked Article 37 of the Indian Constitution, a 70-year-old provision that had given autonomy to the state of Jammu and Kashmir, which includes the Hindu-majority area of Jammu and the Muslim-majority Kashmir Valley. The government also introduced a bill to strip the region of statehood and divide it into two parts, both under direct control of the central government. But Mr. Modi, a Hindu nationalist, had campaigned for re-election in part by stroking patriotic fervor against Muslim-led Pakistan. He promised the full integration of Kashmir, a cause which his party has championed for decades, and now he's delivering on that pledge. Pakistan condemned India's moves. Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan called on President Trump to follow through on an offer he made 2 weeks ago to mediate the Kashmir dispute. Blah, blah, blah. Goes on and on and on. But like that's the gist of it. So I was like, I forgot what Article 370 was. I thought it was something else. And then I remembered that. Okay, cool. Yeah, so the idea is that it's stoking the fire.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah.
You know, Narendra Modi was making aggressive moves. Back in 2016, he made the move of demonetization, which is notes of a certain denomination were just no longer, they had zero value.
Okay.
They no longer counted. And people like went in droves to the banks to try to like recoup their loss because they had all this money. It's like a lot of people lost money as a result of this move, but it was a move that he was doing because of, I'm having a hard time articulating, but it had to do with a lot of corrupt people, whether it's like mafia gangs or business folks who just had an absurd amount of money that they acquired through nefarious means.
Right.
Or duplicate money, like fake money. Like, so the basically is like, we're just going to get rid of that, like that dollar altogether. We're going to get rid of that currency altogether. Now it has no value at all. There was a lot of people caught in the collateral damage of that though.
Right.
And Kay Menon or Himat was on the phone with Farouk and he's like, I need 1 crore, which is $133,000 US.
Right.
And he's like, I was in the line at the bank for 2.5 lakh. 1 lakh is about $1,300.
Right. Okay.
To give it scale and perspective.
Yeah.
And so basically, to combat corruption, Modi got rid of that money, and it affected that guy.
Yeah.
The dude that Farouk was helping out.
Yeah, well, but that's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
What I'm assuming that move is that a lot of like dark organizations, gangsters, mafia types, whatever it is, they hold a lot of their assets in cash. And
Yes.
if you're gonna hold a cash asset, you have to hold it in the highest denomination possible because space is an issue and hiding it is an issue.
Yeah.
But if you eliminate that highest denomination altogether and make it null and void, your average citizen probably isn't going to be stacking large amounts of cash in that particular denomination, so they won't be hurt as much. Also add to the fact that when you're doing these exchanges at banks, well, at least in the US, if you have large amounts of money that you're exchanging in the bank, it has to be accounted for. There's a record for it, probably because taxes have to be applied to it and all that other stuff. So I'm assuming that's probably going to be the same in other countries. So you can't exchange large amounts of money like that in the normal ways. So you have to have back channels, and the back channel is Farouk.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so Farouk's cover actually worked out for him because that's what his whole thing is. But it's funny because when he was at a strip club or the bar or whatever it is, and he was spending money in all those multiple denominations, I thought that was what he was looking for in the person he was looking at, because he wanted to be able to exchange international currencies into another currency. Now it's looking like it's the other way around. So he's actually became the end to exchange those currencies. Where I'm having a problem finding the connect is that the mad bomber, the main person that we're looking for in the very beginning, the one who tried to blow up the embassy, how in the world is Farouk attached to him? I get his attachment to the big boss because he wants to change the money. I don't understand how his attachment, why that puts him directly involved with the mad bomber. Does that make sense?
Sorry, say the question one more time.
Okay. So Farouk's whole point is to take this bad money and exchange it into good money. So that's what's going to allow him to have access to Hafiz. But what I don't understand is how is Farouk going to get involved with the bomber of the embassy and the person we're looking for, the guy that was in charge, the sixth person who was in charge of the terrorist attack that was at the embassy. How does Farouk get attached to him? That I'm having a disconnect.
I think it's because it's all one big network of people. I think that was my assumption anyway, is that they're all just connected because it's the same entity who's trying to exact all these operations, right?
Right.
And so whoever that sixth member is of the operation from 2001, he's a powerful guy, and he's obviously connected to these other powerful people. If I recall correctly, like every time they've had conversations, they're always talking about these other operations that they did. Like when the dude who hit himself in the jugular with the rebar or whatever that was.
Oh yeah.
He was like, we did this.
Right.
And so it's like all these are connected, and it goes all the way to the top is what it looks like here. That's what's crazy. I don't know exactly what this guy's position is in Pakistan, but he seems to be the head of this pyramid of evil,
right,
that we're looking at, right? And so it's all connected together. The bombing that Kay Menon or Himat, the operation he carried out there, was basically just a red herring to keep them distracted and to disrupt their operations.
Right.
While it's not easy for me to articulate back to you exactly what happened, I'm following the general idea.
Okay.
You know? Yeah. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I'm more fixated on the fight scenes.
Oh yeah, and the two officers that have been activated in their unique way of becoming activated. That was just an interesting way to activate an agent.
I like the idea. It just seems the agent who had the gun pointed at him, wasn't he undercover with this girl who's I was a little bit confused about her because I thought she was from Istanbul, but she's Indian apparently. Like I was a little bit confused about her, and I thought that was like an undercover operation in itself. I wasn't sure if he was on an actual date with her or if she was a job.
I thought it was an actual date. That's what I thought. And then
that makes more sense then.
And they were just talking about his cover,
that makes more sense.
in the middle of the date, and then the worst criminal ever pops up with the gun.
Well, he's not actually a criminal.
He's not actually a criminal, right? Yeah, but that justifies that. But at the time, I was like, this is a terrible criminal, because I'm like, you're just gonna sit there and let my man take his glasses off, walk to him, and just take your gun. I'm like. But it was really just, we're just making sure you're ready and you're on your toes. That's all that is.
Like a lot of emphasis is placed on the fight scenes in this particular episode, right?
Okay.
And you're dealing with agents who are elite who are super, super badass. It was a little bit strange to me that you have this guy who's just going rogue sometimes and like trying to carry out sniper operations on high-end bad guys and villains in the world, right? And he's being tested still. That was a little odd to me. So there's a little bit of conflict there, right? Just it doesn't make any sense. Like this guy's already field ready as far as I can tell. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. Just focusing on the fight scenes, the technical side of it, right? The point of the fight scenes is to inform their skill set, so we know why they belong in field, why they belong in doing the operations of the highest order of magnitude, right? That are crucial to the protection of India's borders.
Okay.
Like that is the point of these fight scenes. So the technical side fucking matters.
Okay.
That's the point I'm trying to make, because sometimes people get, they're like, oh, you're looking at the technical stuff. I'm like, well, I got to qualify why I'm diving into this.
Right.
So for me, watching it, it's like these bad guys seemed completely incompetent with the fighting.
Yes.
Like I immediately thought of I'm like, what do I want to see out of these fights? Like, what am I looking for here? Because it's not a Marvel show, right? But if you look at something like, there's two examples off the top of my head. Marvel, Daredevil Season 1, Episode 2, the hallway fight. Daredevil doesn't have any superpowers other than he can see, through his mask because he's blind and he hears everything, right? So he has an extra sensory perception because of his ears. Barring that, he's a dude and he's vulnerable. And so the fighting felt real and exhausting.
Yes.
And I really liked that aspect of it. It was like one long shot, supposedly. I mean, they might have done like some, very clever cutting and whatnot, but like you could feel the fight. Even though the camera wasn't in there, you could feel the punches, the contact, the hits, and it all felt like this was actually happening. Another example that you actually turned me on to a long time ago, Eastern Promises, where the bathhouse fight. It was like, that's a visceral fight. And it's like, it's between this trained deep cover operative and these two gangsters, and you feel the bone crunching fight that's happening there. Whereas here it was like, okay, this looks like a rehearsal between the way it's choreographed, the way they're fighting, the way it's shot. Everything is like, okay, throw your punch at me. Okay, got you. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Okay, throw another punch at me. But it's like, and there's this stalling that's happening. There's I'm going to put my arm here so that you can block it. It doesn't feel like dude is trying to hit him. It feels like dude is trying to put his arm there so the star of the show can block it. You know what I mean? Do a return strike back. And I'm like, I don't feel immersed in this. And it's like, even if you kept these angles, it's fine. The fight needed work. Like either they needed more time with the fight, or I don't know, like it just wasn't good. And it's like the ideas were fine, I guess.
Right.
Even some of the blocking of it, like that first fight where the guy had the gun on him. So he takes the gun apart. That was kind of cool, right? What I'm supposed to feel, I'm going to put this as crass and disgusting to you guys as possible. What I'm supposed to feel is why that girl's panties are wet. Right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to be that badass. Dude took his glasses off, disarmed the gun. We have a good setup here.
Yeah.
And it's followed by a fight that doesn't measure up to the excitement I was feeling for that fight. And so they keep cutting back to her face of like, oh my God, he's such a badass. And I'm like, I don't feel it. I don't feel any of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's what was going through my head when I was watching it, because like even the staging of it just felt a little bit weird. Like, okay, so he disarms the gun. There's like a slap. I'm like, all right, fine. Slap. That's okay. But then he like runs between the guys. And I guess I get it because he's trying to draw attention away from the girl, but she wasn't even in danger.
Right.
So I don't know why he would do that. Okay, so then the second fight in the market, I thought there was some cool ideas in there because he tossed one dude into the shopping cart. I'm like, I don't even know how you. It's like the idea was cool, but it's almost like he placed him in the shopping cart because he doesn't want to hurt the stunt guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then there was a point that was interesting to me where kind of like we were watching Arcane. The bar fight where Vi is like exhausted and Vi and the other girl are exhausted fighting, and like she goes to get another drink. You know, I really like the idea that you have characters who are fighting and they're so exhausted that they need a moment. I think that's cool because that makes you feel like it's real. I know what it's like to be like in a sparring match or even a real fight or a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu match. It gets fucking tiring.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to take a break in the middle of it while the person's trying to choke you out so you can get your bearings, and then keep going and fight them back, right?
Right.
And so that, I thought that was a cool moment. It was a cool beat in the fight, but like the choreography around it just didn't feel very good.
Right.
And then when the guy got launched into the glass door, it just felt like the stunt went wrong.
Yeah.
Like it looked like he was supposed to kind of go through it, but it didn't quite work out. I was like,
kind of half opened and the stuff kind of shook a little bit. It was like, I think there was supposed to be more to that, to that impact. So
another great example is the Mission Impossible Fallout fight scene in the bathroom.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It was Tom Cruise and Henry Cavill fighting this Asian dude, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of shit I wanted to see here. It was like, this guy's life is threatened. Like, I need to feel that he's threatened because these guys are dangerous, but somehow he still makes it. He gets messed up a little bit, but he still wins out in the end using his ingenuity. Both of them. I didn't feel that. It felt like these guys are putting their hands up and they're getting ready to get tossed.
Right.
It just didn't feel like much.
It was a bad writing choice for me. On one side, you want to test and show the audience that these guys are badasses, right? But on the other side of that, the realistic part of it is that this is his home agency sending these agents in order to test to see if he's ready so that he can be active for whatever it is that's going. So on the other side of that coin, you have to send people that can't really damage these people. It's just more of like a, wake up, get ready for school kind of thing, just shake you up.
Get ready for school.
Right. So the writer put themselves in an impossible position because I will say this, the setup of them going into the marketplace was cool. It was a cool long one shot. It had some bokeh effects so that you didn't really see too far into the depth. They had a really shallow depth of field so that you knew vaguely what was going on. It was a marketplace, but all the focus was put on the guy going in. I mean, and that shot follows him through the parking lot, through the front door. He's getting a buggy. He's walking down the aisle. So it's like, it's just building and building and building. So if you're going to build on that, then that means the stakes have to be really high. But you can't have stakes that high if you're sending somebody to just kind of like wake your agent up. You see what I'm saying? You can't win in that situation. It's a bad writing choice because if it is a real stakes high situation, then your agent's going to get jacked up. Right? And then that defeats the purpose because you just kind of want to like wake them up to get them ready for a bigger thing. So you have to downplay the fight sequences and kind of play with kid gloves, which absolutely undermines that amazing walk-up scene that we have going in. It was just a real bad disconnect. You can't have one without sacrificing the other.
So for you, because of the build-up to the fight, the agent needed to get taken down, is what you're saying?
Well, it needed to be something awesome, something dope. And then they kind of blew their wad a little bit too, when they had the entire market. It was a full-on marketplace, so I guess all of them were extras, and they just were like, okay, everybody now leave. So the whole market cleared out, so it's dead quiet, and then the fake agents, the fake bad guys / good guys come in to test the agent. It was just a kerfuffle. It was too much going on. You set up something that was going to be amazing and dangerous, but the real stakes weren't ever that high. They were never that high. Because you can't kill the agent. You can't shoot the agent. That's why it makes sense when we saw the very first guy coming off of the date and the guy's got the gun. I'm like, it makes no sense that you're going to sit there and let a guy cross, 20 feet of space, taking off his glasses. You're not set a warning shot. You're not warning him nothing. And he literally just walks up and just takes your gun. That's like, this has got to be the worst robbery I've ever seen in my entire life. But when you look at it in hindsight, and they was never intending to shoot him and never intending to really hurt him, it's just, you're activated. It was just a poor choice to me.
Yeah. I think that with the shopping market scene, okay, so there's two ideas there. Either A, they're civilians and they just got cleared out really fast, impossibly fast.
Impossibly fast.
Yeah, or B, they are also agents. They were in on it and they were asked to clear out. But I'm like, okay, if they are agents, why would they be asked to clear out? Well, it makes more sense because I've talked to people who participate in military training, like people who dress up as terrorists, for instance, like because the military is in Afghanistan and Iraq and all that stuff. And so there are operations, drills that are run with actors where like stunt people that I know were, dressed up in hijabs and all that stuff.
Right.
With rifles and whatnot in these like little homes and whatever. And so the military is supposed to come in and do these operations and like, surprise attacks and all that stuff.
Okay.
And they get killed. It's like, it's just training, right?
Right.
And so if these guys are all agents, My thought is, well, then they should be ready to be civilians in the middle of this operation. So like, oh no, I'm a civilian ready to get hurt in the middle of this fight, you know, and this guy and this agent has to be good enough to not only take these guys down, but keep the civilians safe.
Right.
That would have been more interesting to watch, in my opinion.
Right.
Maybe it's just more expensive.
Right.
But like, what would have been great is if this agent nearly just executes one of the guys attacking him, and then some like mission leader or whatever you want to call him, some captain of this operation is like, stop, whistle blows. Okay,
Right.
you're ready for your real operation now. you know what I mean?
or if he's just really impatient, he just starts plugging people, and you're like, yo, wait! It was just a wake-up call. You shot Judy. If she wasn't, you really shot Judy. We was just trying to make sure you were activated. Chill out, man.
Exactly.
Put the guns away.
Well, that was another thing that was a little bit strange to me, was that there were no guns in that fight. I'm like, something's already off about this. Why wouldn't they have guns?
Yes.
You know?
There could have been a better choice. That's all.
The Kobayashi Maru. You know what the Kobayashi Maru is?
No.
It's a training exercise in Star Trek that was designed to test the Starfleet Academy.
Oh, it was the impossible test, right?
Yes, the impossible test. That's what that was, the Kobayashi Maru.
Okay.
And so, I mean, to me, that's what that was. It's just like, that's what it should have been anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it was fantastical for the sake of the viewers. I get it. I mean, and especially with this particular episode, because there is a lot of dialogue that there's a lot of telling and not showing in this particular episode. So I'm sure if you don't have that at those two action sequences, this episode would have really drug on, because there was those two action sequences, and then the bomb goes off, the fake bomb that goes off in Pakistan that sets the events in motion. Those are the only three big action sequences that we kind of had, and the rest is just like a lot of intense dialogue where you have to follow along. So from a creative standpoint, I can understand why they did that.
I like the idea of the fight scenes being in there. I just wish the fight scenes were better or handled differently, because it should have been having this test happen when dude's got his date. I think it was that's just messed up.
It's just rude.
Yeah, it's very rude. I wish it was more like what the intent of the Kobayashi Maru is, which is like an impossible test. And to see, like, test the mettle of these agents to really make sure they're ready. Because, like, just throwing them a sparring match doesn't tell you that they're ready.
No. Yeah, and that's just dangerous. Why would you test a killer? Like, this dude was ready to shoot a dude in front of his little girl holding a balloon, and you gonna sit there and poke this bear?
Right.
I don't know if you'd want to do that. This guy's obviously ready.
Yeah, I'm still intrigued with the underlying story, nonetheless, that I'm excited to keep going forward. So, y'all, let us know your feelings in the comments below. I apologize for those of you who are like hardcore fans of the show and you feel like we've just railed into it unnecessarily, but that's what we're here for, is to be honest. And so, looking forward to the next one, nonetheless. Make sure to follow Sintel on youtube.com/Sintel if you haven't done that already. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and vote this up if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching this on Patreon, thanks so much for supporting us here. That's it for now. I'm JABY KOAY. This is...
It's your boy...